Hi, everybody. Welcome to finishing the Rocky Road painting with Brusho. If you're on Zoom, if you can let me know in the chat, or if you can let me know that you can hear me. If you're on YouTube, if you could type in the chat that you can hear me, that would be fabulous. I would be so appreciative. Hopefully everybody can hear me. I'm going to wait till I make sure so I don't have to do any adjusting once we get started. Hope everybody's had a wonderful day. Let's see if we have anybody here in. Is there anybody on YouTube live that is watching? If you could put in the chat that you do hear me. Jody, okay, hi. You can hear me? You said hello. Thanks, Jody. I really appreciate it. So tonight, what I want to do is I want to finish this painting. I wonder if anybody from the Brusho Fun group will be on. I was so busy today, I didn't have a chance to post, to make sure to come over and to watch. But so if not, I'll go ahead and finish this up and then record it, and it will be available on YouTube and then also over on the Fine Art Cafe Academy under Brusho Colors. I'll put this last piece in there. We have the color swatches that we were working on and also the Rocky Road. That's all over there on the Fine Art Cafe Academy. So what I wanted to do is kind of get everybody's input on what you would like to see done in finishing this piece. If you have some ideas, put that in the chat. And then what we'll do is we'll go on and we'll try and do that. And that way it's got everybody's input in on this painting so that we really can say this was a piece that we did together. So over on Zoom, does anybody have any ideas of what you would like to see done to complete this? A little bit of, if you haven't been watching, our sun is coming from this direction. So we added some wax resist along the areas where the sun would be bouncing off of the rocks. So anything on this side would be in the shadow. We have more of the yellow highlights in this area, again, coming from this direction that, it's the sunlight is kind of bouncing off. We have some of the darker areas over on our shadowed side. So again, and I see some people are getting on YouTube. If you have suggestions of what you would like to see done to finish this piece, put it in the chat so that we can kind of watch and see what your suggestions are. Over on Zoom, if you have suggestions also, I would love to know what you would like to see being done. Jody, I know you're over on Zoom. What do you have any suggestions of what you would like to see being done to finish this piece? And I know there's a little bit of a delay in the streaming when we go in and stream. So someone is saying that they would like to see some darker areas where the shadow is on some of these rocks. And I think I will go ahead and let's add some of that. I'm going to use Prussian blue, maybe a bit more contrast. Okay, where would you like to see more contrast? Grab a towel. Are you talking about contrast in the rocks, or where would you like to see a little more contrast? So if our sun is again coming from this direction, shadows in the trees on the right. Okay, I'm going to point because this is a mirrored image. Are you talking on this side? Yes, okay, so we can add a little more dark. What I love is this area. I don't know if you can see how organic this area is, and it almost looks like the light is streaming through there. So what I'll try and do is not go into that area. I'll add some more contrast over here. So since that was a great suggestion, let's do that. Let's put a little bit of a cover in that area. And I'm using a smaller bottle to get more of a, well, hopefully, maybe a little bit of a smaller spray so it's not quite as saturated. And again, I'm going to use my Prussian blue. And that's the great thing about Brusho, is that you can go back in and add more, and it reactivates what is there. I'm going to pour a little more water in my spray bottle. So probably not a good thing to do right over the top of my painting. And again, over on YouTube, if there's anybody on there that you have any suggestions of what you would like me to do, let me know. Okay, let's. There, I'm trying to get my bottle to spray. I don't want to overdo it. And I have a little bit of a blot right there. I'm just going to pick a little bit of that up. Well, hello there over on YouTube. How is that looking? Is that a little better? I think we need a little more down in this area. And you're asking, are we going to add any grass to where the rocks are, or will that get too busy? I've not added grass down in the areas before, other than where a few of the crystals have fallen. We could go in and sprinkle a little bit in there. I think what I would do is, as I was saying before, I would go in and darken to give more contrast for the shadow areas in the rocks, and maybe go in with a little bleach and water and lift a few spaces. But I really don't care for how this is here. So what I want to do is, and this maybe is going to add some of your rocks, the grass in the rocks area.
Yeah, hamburgers going up in price. No. Granola is like cost 5 bags of chips.
Yeah. No. It's nearly goodness, you know. It's not that.
I'm changing over to my larger bottle. I'm not getting a good spray with the little bottle. And I'm getting some feedback, so I'm going to mute a couple of the people there. See if that helps. There we go. And in doing that, what I did is I put my hand in the painting. So I'm just going to dab that a little bit. Add maybe a few little more sprinkles, just to add a little bit of variation in that. And I'm thinking maybe add a little more of the leaf green, just to add a little bit of additional color in there. So, and I know I've said this before, but if there's anybody over on YouTube and then any additional people over on Zoom, let me know what you would like to see added to finish up this painting. Lana, there's a bad echo in the sound. I did have to mute somebody over in Zoom. Do you still hear it? Let me know if you're still hearing it. And I know there's a little bit of a delay, so it may take you just a few minutes to not hear the echo. So if Lana, if you could let me know, that would be wonderful. I don't have any other sound on that I would be getting an echo from my end. Okay, you're going to go over onto Zoom. Okay, that sounds good. Thanks. I appreciate that. Okay, Barbara said we still are hearing an echo. Let me play around with this. Let me move this off to the side. And all right, let me pull this back up. All right, can you still hear? Hopefully I didn't lose everybody when I did that. Do you still hear the echo? Hopefully this is still streaming live. Okay, if you're over on YouTube, if you could let me know if you are still hearing. Hopefully I didn't lose anybody. Okay. Are you still hearing the echo, Barbara? Wow, you cannot join Zoom. Barbara, I'm showing you are on Zoom. Okay, Lana says, oh, there's still an echo. What the heck? Why is there an echo? I've turned everything off. Boy, I don't know. It says it's no longer valid. Ugh. Let me restart it and see. It says it's in progress. Oh, you know, sometimes technology just doesn't work the way you want it to. Sorry about that, everybody. Let me see if I can. Okay, I'm showing that it's back on in. If you could try going back to Zoom if you want to, that would be wonderful. I'm showing that it's back live again. So you can hear the echo in Zoom also. Wow. Okay. I really don't know what to do about this, guys. I do apologize. I've never had it echoing before.
This is Lana. I made it to the Zoom meeting this time.
Lana, can you hear me?
Yes.
Are you still having the echo that you were talking about?
No, it's not on Zoom. It was only on YouTube.
Okay. Barbara, if you can try and go over to Zoom if you're there, let me know. I'm showing Barbara you're on Zoom. Hopefully you are. Shoot. Okay.
I think she is on there now on Zoom.
Yeah, I see her on, but I don't see that she has any video or so. Well, what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and continue on. Jody's saying there's no echo on Zoom. If somebody is over on the YouTube, let me know if there's still an echo over there. I don't know what I'll do about it, but oh man, sometimes, you know, technology just doesn't work right. I don't know why. It's like, oh. So what we did is we've added, kind of made a mess out of a few things here, but we added some darks. It was suggested that we add more of a value change on this side of the paper, which for you, I believe would be your right-hand side. It's a mirrored image of what I'm looking at. I wanted to add a little more dark. There was kind of lines in this area, but I'm looking at it and I really think up in here, it needs a little more dark also. Now, let me know. This one's not working. Let me know what you would like to see done. as we progress through this and finish this piece up. And if I'm getting too much water in the area, what I'm doing is adding and dabbing with my towel to pick up some of that areas where that it's heavier, more pigmented with the water. So we've worked on this side. What's everybody think? Do we need more coloring, more dark values, maybe dark values up in this area? Kind of guide me along what you would like to see me do to finish this piece. And you can put it in the chat, or you can, turn your mic on and just kind of let me know. I don't want to get it too heavy. So if we've added more color in this side of the road, what would you like to see done in the rest of the trees before we move on to our rocks? And I agree, Lana, we definitely need to add more darks in our rocks for our values. Would you like to see more light in this area? More light over in here, since our sun is coming from this direction? What do you think? I think I'll add just a little more of the lighter value, excuse me, in here, just to break this up a little. And again, I'm trying to be very careful where I'm spritzing and how much water I'm laying down. Should we add some more dark over in here? Is there anyone painting along with me tonight?
Can you say that again, Jan? I couldn't hear what you asked.
Oh, I said, is anybody painting along with me tonight?
I'm not. I'm having dinner.
Oh, yum. What are you having good?
Oh, we
good
had
for
roast
dinner?
beef.
Oh, yummy.
Yeah. And potatoes and carrots.
I think I'm headed to your house.
Well, the door is open anytime.
Yeah, I turned
cold.
yeah. Oh, great. That sounds so good. I haven't eaten yet, and it's well, it's almost 8 o'clock here.
Jan,
What?
you need to feed yourself.
Oh, believe me, I'm not fading away.
It's just coming up on 6 o'clock where I am, and so it's right over the time that my hubby gets home, and so he's watching you too.
This is Jody talking. Ah. All right, what do you think? Do we have enough color, enough definition in the trees? I may go in and lift. I've gotten this pretty dark in this area. And what I'm kind of seeing is this is almost like a bush in this area. Puts just some like sticks sticking out. And let's see, some dark colors in our rocks. Again, if our light is coming from this direction, we want to get some darks in the darker areas down in the nooks and crannies. And I want to diffuse those edges out. And again, maybe dark in that area. Am I going where you think the dark should be? What do you guys think? Getting too many darks? Now I've picked up some of the gray that I used in the rocks before. And I'm adding that in to darken up some of those areas where the rocks are. Now I'm going in with the blue, the Prussian blue. Now, Jody, are you still on? You had said originally, was I going to add any of the yellow or the green into the rocks? And yes, Brusho Fun is on Facebook, and it is a group of Brusho enthusiasts that all the paintings that are put on need to have some type of Brusho included. So if you're not a member, definitely look that up and join. We'll get you approved. Answer the questions though, because if you don't answer, what we do is we won't approve you, because we need to make sure that, you know, people that are using Brusho in part of their artwork. And it can be for greeting cards, it can be mixed media, whatever you use for creating some forms, some type of art that you're using your Brusho in, and then we can go in and, you know, we'll approve you and get you on so that you can see what some of the people are doing and how we're using Brusho. So I want to add just a little more of a path because this is just an old path that goes between these rocks in my mind. So is it starting to come to life a little more?
Yes, it is. It's starting to get that nice little pop in your rocks.
Good,
So
good. And Jody had asked Lana what kind of art that she does, and has she tried Brusho yet?
Oh.
I don't know if somebody's talking. I can't hear what you're saying.
Can you hear me?
Just barely.
Okay. This is Lana. I was just trying to answer Jody. I do acrylic and watercolor, and I have some Brusho that I've used just a little bit, and I'm trying to learn how to use it. I think it's a
Oh.
wonderful medium. I love the way it reacts.
Oh my gosh. You definitely have to join the Brusho Fun group on Facebook, because it's just amazing what people are doing with it. And I see we
Yes.
have, yeah, it's just, I mean, it truly is, it's a crazy medium. It can be so frustrating, but it's just so much fun. And Marlene is on over on YouTube. Hi, Marlene. And Barb, you said you just got off of work, so just relaxing and watching me do my magic. Well, hopefully this turns out okay. And just kind of going in and just adding some colors. My spray bottle was getting, I think, too thick in a few areas. So, and I don't know, Marlene, I don't think you are you using Brusho yet? Have you gotten it yet? And again, I know there's a delay. So if anybody sees some areas in the rocks that need to be darkened, and then Jody, did you want me to add some grass area in some of these rocks?
I was just asking if that was your intention. You can do whatever you want, baby.
Well, hey, that's what we're, oh, I know, Marlene, everybody said that over in YouTube, there's a real echo. If you can, why don't you pop over to the Zoom? And Marlene is saying she hasn't gotten any Brusho yet. She just watching to see how it's all done first. And once you see what can be done with Brusho, you're going to be so hooked, because Brusho is so much like alcohol inks in some ways. It's different, but yet it's so very similar to it. So this is starting to get pretty wet. You want to try some grass in here? What's everybody's consensus? Do you want grass in the rocks? Shall we sprinkle a little bit of grass little bit of grass green in the rocks. And Jody, Marlene said to say hi to you. What do you guys want? Do you want some grass? What do you say, Lana? Grass in the rocks?
Sure, why not? I'm
Sure.
having trouble hearing, all of a sudden the volume went way down. I don't know if it's me or y'all, but
Let me see if I can, let me see if I can turn it up a little bit on my end.
I don't know what happened. It was fine, and now all of a sudden,
How, is that any better?
no, it's probably me.
Marlene, if you go to the fineartcafe.academy and go, there's a Zoom tab, you can go into the Zoom through that area. So, okay, Lana says yes to grass in the rocks. Marlene says yes to grass in the rocks. So let's go ahead and do that. What I want to do, and it's got a lot of grass green on it. I don't want to get a lot of grass up in the area. And yes, that is right, Barbara. There is a link in the events tab in Brusho Fun. So I don't want to add a lot in here. So I just spritzed lightly. And again, with Brusho, a little bit goes a very, very long way. I don't want my rocks to become all grass.
No, don't want that. Your rocks are fabulous.
Well, were you here for the beginning of how I did the rocks, Lana?
I missed the first show, first recording.
Okay. What I did is I used wax resist, and this is one of the products that I used. It's like a white crayon. It's a little more transparent than a white crayon, or you can use just a candle.
Yes, I've heard of that.
A white candle. And I went in and just made some marks and trying to think what direction my sun was coming from. And what that happens, and if you use watercolor, it's the same thing. It pushes the water and the pigment off of the areas that you've added the wax resist. So, and going in now, it's not really going to do anything, but that's what I did. And then I went in with my gray Brusho, and I got the areas wet, sprinkled with the, sprayed with the water and sprinkled with the Brusho. And that's kind of how I came up with my pigments. The other thing I did is I went in with bleach and water and I lifted to get some of those little areas. So can you, I don't know, can you see the grass, the green areas in those rocks now?
Sorry, I'm switching to my computer.
Oh,
I can see them. I don't know if you guys can see the little dots of grass in there. And as it starts to spread a little bit, you're going to see more.
okay.
And I'm adding just a touch of yellow, the Brusho lemon, to that, just to get a little more variation in the color. And I pretty much have Brusho everywhere at this point.
That's easy to do.
Yeah, it is. And I'm kind of just looking to evaluate now. There's something about this right here that to me, it's pretty dark.
Yeah, it's
Does,
pretty dark up here.
does that look almost like it's too dark in that area?
Can you lift a little bit?
A little bit of highlights on some of the tips might help.
Well, this is a little dangerous what I'm going to do right now. This bottle, I had a smaller bottle with bleach in it, and it the top broke off. So I had to transfer it over into this. It's just a hair product bottle, but it has bleach in it. So what I'm going to do, and wish me luck on this. I want to try and lighten up and see if I can just get a little bit of pop. To see how that lightens. And I believe it's picking up some of the color. I don't know if you can see that, how it's lightening up some of those areas. I don't want this to blur. Well, there you are. You're on Zoom now, Marlene. Hello. Can you see where that's lightening that up just a little bit in that area? It makes a little bit of light coming through.
That helps a little bit.
I may spray just a little bit more there. If you're doing this and you're spraying bleach and water, always be careful, because I'm deathly afraid of what would happen sometimes if I would pick it up and spray this and spray it in my face. So always, always be careful. I don't want to get it too heavy. With my bleach. And again, bleach and water works a lot better on dry paper, and my paper is still pretty wet. But it is picking up and lightening some of those areas. I do like that a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
I think it had gotten too dark in that area.
Yeah,
The other thing is right in this area that bush is. I think I may just spritz that a little bit. Again, always make sure you're pointing this away from your face. And let's see what that does.
so you have to use bleach to lift it?
Bleach and water, yes.
Oh, okay.
Brusho is very staining. These are my swatches that I made, and you can see where some of the colors stain, where the bleach, and this was heavy bleach, this didn't pick it up totally. So you can see how it changes the color
Okay.
in some of them. And
Yeah.
then in others, like the yellow, it will lift it right back to the white of the paper. Now this side is a product called Melton, and it's from the UK. It is a baby bottle sterilizer, and you can order it from Amazon. I buy the tablets and then I make my own mixture of the melton and water, and then you can lift with that also.
Oh,
So Jan, with the bleach, is it like half bleach, half water, or how much?
I always start off half and half. I'll start off with a mixture of half water, half bleach, and then depending on how I want it to lift, I may vary and add more water to it so it doesn't lift as much. I may vary it and add more bleach to it. I use rag paper. This is 100% cotton paper, rag paper. It's Stonehenge from Legion Paper, Stonehenge Aqua, 140-pound cold press. And this paper is like taking and throwing something in your wash and using bleach to get a stain out. It's very similar, the same thing. Now, if you get too heavy, it will start breaking down the sizing on it.
mhm.
But basically, I like this paper the best. Arches, the sizing is different, and I'm not sure if Arches paper is rag paper or cotton paper. But that, for some reason, the sizing really breaks down for me with bleach and water. So you kind of have to play around and see, kind of what you like to use, what works for you.
Yeah.
So with Brusho, it should be a rag paper. Is that right?
No, you can use it on any paper. It's just using the bleach and water mixture on it.
Oh,
To me, it's like, if I have a white top and I throw it in the washer and I add bleach to it, it's going to lighten it. It
right.
kind of reacts that same way.
Okay.
But you can use it. A lot of people use Brusho on UPO.
Oh, I was just going to ask if that's kind of like alcohol lifting up alcohol inks.
Yeah, and it does stain like alcohol ink will stain UPO. But it doesn't soak into the paper, so it takes a longer time to dry because it's not the alcohol ink, where alcohol dries very quickly.
Right.
This is basically water,
Okay.
so it's going to sit on top of the paper and take longer to dry, but you get some pretty cool effects with it.
Uh-huh. Okay.
So
I
I
love
think I
that
want to
one.
lighten just a little bit of this area in here.
Let more light in.
Right, exactly.
I can't wait to watch the first video.
And you can kind of see some of the green now that's spread out in those rocks.
Yeah.
So that gives it a pretty cool effect.
Neat.
And as this dries, of course, it'll start bleaching it out and lifting it a little bit more than what you're going to see here tonight because of, it's wet. My paper is pretty darn wet.
Can you tell us what Brusho colors you used for this painting?
Yes, for this one, I used lemon,
Uh-huh.
leaf green,
Uh-huh.
Prussian blue, and I
Okay.
used Prussian to add some of the darker to give more depth, and then the gray for the rocks, some of the road. And then I also, a lady was on one of the times when we were putting in some of the dark colors in, what was it, maybe the second or first taping of this. And she suggested using Elegant Writer to add some variation of colors. And I did this in these areas, and you can see where it's bled out into purple. Well, with Elegant Writer, when you use water with this, it spreads. It kind of loses, it's not a permanent marker. So it
Oh.
kind of spreads and goes out into other colors like it did here. So
Mhm.
that's kind of a cool thing to have too. So I'm kind of wondering now, where does everybody think this needs to go? I've lost quite a bit of my trees in here. So I'm thinking I want to go in and add just a little bit. It's going to bleed out because the paper's it's still wet and it has the bleach and water on it. But I'm thinking, let's see, where is my, and I'm going to be using, this is a squirrel brush. It has a very wide, near the ferrule, the bristles, that's what I'm trying to say. The bristles down by the ferrule are very wide, and then it comes out to a point. I really love using this brush to make fine lines. So I think I'll use my gray.
Can I ask what brand that is?
You know what? It's it's a faux squirrel 1827 liner AUX reservoir by Dynasty.
By Dynasty. Okay.
And this one's a little fatter at the end, so it holds more water. But I like these because they hold a lot of water.
Mhm.
And I just threw it on the floor.
Thank you.
So when I do this, I like to anchor my finger on the paper. And what I want to do is I don't want to make a solid line, because what I wanted to do is look like this branch is poking out through different areas of the tree.
Mhm.
And you can see it's going to really spread because my paper is very wet now.
And you're using a Brusho?
I'm using the gray Brusho.
Okay. I don't have gray, but I have black.
You can use black, you can, use whatever color you have.
I bought the assorted pack of 12 colors. That's what I'm starting with. So
Okay.
I'm gonna play with Brusho all day tomorrow, I hope.
And I hope you join the group.
Oh, I will. I did do some little dragonflies with it. They were fun.
Oh yeah. And go on the fineartcafe.academy. So instead of .com, it's the fineartcafe.academy.
Okay.
Down below in the YouTube, you'll see the links. With the Zoom, I can't put it in the comments or anything. There's no way to do that with Zoom. But if you go there, there's a bunch of wonderful tutorials, free, and courses that are, you can pay for and take. We have quite a few of our instructors that are from the Brusho Fun Group.
Uh-huh. And
And
that's Fine Art Academy. I mean, fineartcafe.academy.
Yep, the Fine Art Academy. If Jody, if you're on, can you type that in to the chat for me, please? It's the fineartcafe.academy.
Okay.
And Jody may not be on now. And one of the other things is this tree it's leaning. And I did that purposely just to add some kind of character to the painting. But if my sun is coming from this direction,
Mhm.
this tree is going to be throwing a shadow across that road, right?
Yes.
Do you agree with me on that?
Yes, ma'am.
So let's do that. And if it's going off in this direction, then whoops, it would be coming. And it may not. My paper is so wet.
Yeah, you may have to wait till it dries.
But you can kind of see where I did the line. Let me turn this, make it just a little thicker.
There you go.
And then it would come up. And maybe some of these other ones are casting a shadow. There's some over here that you might be able to kind of envision that they're throwing a shadow. Just to add a little character. And then if this was drier, I don't think this is going to work, but I'd love to take, and we're talking about adding some character to a painting. I'd love to take and have a tree coming off. And let's say this tree here has a branch. So I don't know if you can kind of see that. It just adds a little, it's a, like kind of like a broken branch down in there. And let's do the same with this one. So now I'm just kind of bringing back to life some of these trees that I had put in prior to adding all the sprays and the spritzes and maybe there's some little twigs sticking up. Kind of reminds me, did anybody watch Bob Ross as a kid growing up?
Oh, yeah.
Happy little accidents.
And he always put his little squiggles and things in and his happy places for his little birds and bunnies and
He was a joy.
another one I always watched was a gentleman by the name of Terry Madden. And he was a watercolorist and he was on our public channel and he was just so much fun to watch. And I actually had a chance to take a course, or not a course, but a workshop with him. And it was just so much fun to watch him on TV and then get to know him in person.
Neat. How long have you been doing watercolor, Jan?
Off and on for a lot of years. I ran the adult ed division in our public school system in Oregon, the city of Oregon in Ohio.
Oh, nice.
And of course, I was working all evenings and we were running our evening courses and I wanted to bring more art into it. We had a lot of, like college prep courses and computer courses and, you know, all of that kind of stuff. So what I wanted to do was bring art in. And I met a man that he really almost became my a mentor to me. And his name is Kevin Hasselbog. And he started teaching classes for me, watercolor classes. Well, I was working, so I couldn't take the classes, you know, and finally I stopped doing the evening stuff and got to take a few classes, workshops with him, and just had so much fun, fell in love with it. And then life gets in the way, and, you know, I was working and my mom became ill and had to take care of her, and just kind of painted off and on, then really stopped. And it hasn't been until really, maybe the past 10, 15 years that I've really started back painting, and more than just a hobby. A year ago, almost a year and a half ago, I decided that I love that adult ed. I still have that, even though I've retired from it, but I love that. And I brought that to the Fine Art Cafe Academy online so that we could offer classes for people, you know, in the leisure of your home at your own pace. And you can sign up and take courses. There are paid courses, and then there's a bunch of free demos on there. So that's kind of how that started. And I love that. I love being able to give back and, you know, to bring art to people and kind of encourage them into that, you know, anybody can create. I truly believe that it's in all of us, you know. Kids have no fear. They just start drawing and painting, and there's no fear there. And I think as we get older, we create the fear and we put that aside. So if I can help bring that back, or if our artists that are instructors there, they can help do that. To me, that's amazing. That's just where my heart is.
Yeah, you've got a lot of really good courses there too.
Oh yeah, we do. We have a lot of really, really fun ones, really talented artists. So what do you guys think? What else needs to be done?
Beautiful.
Kind of blur those out a little bit because there's kind of some bumps in the road.
It's very organic looking.
Yeah.
That is my favorite thing about Brusho, is how organic you can get something and how it looks so much like nature. I do want to show you one thing that I've worked on. I've got to be careful because I don't want to get Brusho on it.
Oh,
That's is it Claire? I forgot the
This
name.
is Claire the cow.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Love
she
it.
is finished and signed. And what I did is I mounted her on cradle board. I don't know if anybody is familiar with cradle board. It's a birch wood top, and then it has sides, and you can buy different depths of the cradle boards. You know, you could get, this is a 1/2 inch, you could get an inch. I think they even make them wider.
now is that a canvas
No, this is watercolor.
paper?
This is Stonehenge Aqua watercolor paper mounted on the cradle board.
Oh,
It turned out gorgeous.
that's wonderful.
I'm so happy with how she turned out. And then what I did, and I don't know if you can see the shine.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It's
I
almost
didn't-
a semi shine.
Kind of, yeah, it's not like a resin where you get that real deep shine. But what I did, and this is going to be backwards for you. This is Dorland's Wax Medium. It's by Jacquard. It's DORLAND' Wax Medium. I took one of these microfiber cloths,
Mm-hmm.
and I spread it on, let it dry overnight, and then I did another coat, and then I buffed it.
After you painted it,
And that's how I've gotten the sheen to it.
So it didn't smear anything?
Mm-mm. I did put one very fine coat, and I don't know why I did it. I would not have had to, but I used Crayons Camar,
Yeah.
and I just did a real light coat over it, just if there was any loose crystals to set those.
Mhm.
I know I would not have had to do that, but
That's gorgeous.
I don't know, figured I'd better do it.
I love that. That's
But
a
this
love
is
cows.
waterproof. It's sealed now. It's UV protected because of this Dorland's wax medium.
where did you find that at?
I just ordered this through Amazon, I believe it was. And it's Jacquard, JACQUARD, the Dorland's wax medium.
Oh,
Okay.
Jacquard makes it.
Yes. And if you go on to the Fine Art Cafe Academy, there's a painting there, a demo there by Lynn Shield, and Lynn is one of our members in the Brusho Fun group. It's called Grizzly Blue. And she did a bear, and she did it in a lot of blues, and it's a beautiful, beautiful painting. And she used the wax to finish that, and she shows how to use it.
Oh,
Oh, nice.
So I kind of wanted to I've resined over, paintings, but I don't
like
have any
that better.
resin left, and I really didn't want to spend the money for it. So I thought I'd give this Dorlin a try, and I'm over the moon happy with it.
I think I like that better. Yeah.
I am, yeah. And I waxed the sides. So I'm trying to not get my dirty Brusho hands on it.
Yeah.
But the sides are waxed too. I may put another coat of wax on the sides. I just want to make sure it's really, really dry.
Yeah.
But I just am in love with this.
Yes, I love that too.
well, I'm from Texas, so I love cows.
Yeah, I just really am really pleased with it. And I think the next demo that we may do is the tree. Somebody requested that we do this as a demo, so I may do that the next session that I go through. And this is done with a palette knife. And then I went in with some bleach and water and lifted to give it some good highlights, sprinkled some leaves up in the top. And a lot of the branches are done with my palette knife also. And
Oh,
this guy,
Love
he's
it.
done with the same colors as the cow. And I may mount him. I'm really hooked on mounting them now instead of doing the mat and the frame.
Yeah.
I'm thinking he may get mounted and waxed also.
now are those Brusho?
All of this is Brusho, and that's why I'm showing you everything.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
This, this is
I love
fun. You can go in and sprinkle and spritz and just get carried away and just let it do its own thing. But this is where you go in and you handle it a little more. And my
Yeah.
goat, again, all the same 3 colors. It was yellow ochre, violet, and OST blue, Ost blue. And that's the only colors I used on, not that one, that's got some purple in it, but that's the only colors I used on the cow, the goat, and my orangutan.
Those would all look so neat, just all framed or matte, whatever, You finish it, but
Right.
it's all in the same, like a series on a wall.
What do they call that? A
No,
trip note? Yeah, yeah.
that's if there's three. It's like that's some kind of a series. They all look, yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking of doing, is a bunch of different animals in a series.
Yeah.
And just kind of see how they go using those three colors. I just love those three colors together. I don't know what it is, but you see, like, this is what's cool. You see all the greens in here?
Mhm.
Yeah. See, that's what I would
Green-
like to
Yeah,
learn. is-
green never touched this. It was all because of how it mixed. The
With
colors mixed. You know, you had your yellow ochre mixed with your blue to create your greens. You know, it's just, I don't know, it's just cool.
I don't know if I could do that. I don't know if I'm good enough. I've only been doing paintings for a year and a half, but the Brusho, like the black, it has several colors in it.
Yes,
And
it
when
does.
you put water on it, you see all the different colors come out.
Yes,
that's
yes.
neat.
So I don't know. I've got, like I said, I got a lot of playing to do and work to do to figure it out. But
Definitely go over to the Fine Art Cafe Academy. Instead, like I said, it's instead of .com, it's .academy. And, you know, even if you do some of the demos that are there, you're going to learn so much just for, you know, from them. If you want to take a really solid course and learn Brusho and how to use it, I have a course up there called Creating Magic with Brusho.
okay.
And it's like a 6-week course. You're making, I think there's like 6 or 7 paintings in it that you create. It's really, really cool. It's a solid course. I interview some of the top Brusho artists. It's a good course. It kind of takes somebody from the very beginning of starting off with Brusho and creating just, you know, some really fabulous artwork.
That's what I need.
Yeah, I can't wait to retire so I can have time to do this.
That's when I started, after I retired.
Yeah. Well, that's what I did. I retired several years ago, and that's, you know, how really I needed to do something. I couldn't just sit and watch TV. I needed to be back kind of working. And so, yeah, that's a lot of fun. And talking, what I did want to touch on, you talked about the black. When I would go out and I would work with senior centers and assisted living centers and I have like 15 sets of Brusho that have the brushes, everything you need. So I would take my 15 sets and I would take paper and we would create a painting together. They had so much fun. But when we started, what we would do is I would have them get the black out, and I use these, they're like a waffle board, a gator board, and they would paint on them because you can just take the bleach and water and clean them off. And I would say, okay, take your black and let's say the black and sprinkle it. One, they would teach them kind of, you know, that you don't need a lot to get a good result.
Right.
And then I would say, you know, now spray. And you could see the colors, all the different colors, you know, that is in the black. And you can see on this one, there's the gray's not quite as full of the different colors, but you can see the oranges are coming out. But if you take, let me see if I can grab my black real quick without making a mess of everything.
Definitely have to be careful with it.
Now, I'm a messy painter.
Me too.
Me three.
Let's see, here's my black. But if you take the black and you sprinkle it out, and there's not a lot there. You know, there's not a lot of the crystals there. But look at the, I don't know if the camera is picking up the colors. If you can see, there's reds, there's blues. There's
Yeah, it's hard to
oranges.
see, but I've done it and I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, Marlene, can you see those colors in there?
I have a real small laptop. But I know what you're
Okay.
talking about though, because it's kind of like the pitch black of the alcohol inks. When you blow, you can get all different colors coming out of it. You don't see it until you know, it disperses.
That's exactly right. So I'm trying to, but
I do see some of it now.
yeah, there's so many colors in a little pot.
Yeah.
And
Purplish.
the fun part about that then is you mix that up, you can start to see some of those colors, but then it turns your black. And now you have the black.
Mm-hmm.
But you can see where the oranges, it separates a little bit, and the blues.
Yeah.
It's such a fun medium. I'm so hooked on it.
That's what got me hooked, is all those colors coming out of one color.
They're gorgeous colors too.
They are. They're very pretty. Very, very pretty.
I would love to see you do a demonstration of some kind of like an animal, like the animals that you're doing.
Oh, one of the animals. Okay.
How you do that? Yeah.
What we might do is I might do a workshop and then invite people. There probably would be a little bit of a charge for that because it does take, longer than just doing a demonstration like that. So I don't know. I'll put some thought into that.
Maybe a donkey.
Oh, that'd be cute. I was also thinking a camel. How cute would a camel?
Oh, that would be cute for hump day.
Yeah. The orangutan, we have an art club here in the town that I live in, and June, I guess I need to get a description and supplies over to them. In June, I'm going to do a workshop, 1-day workshop with them, and we're going to do the orangutan. It's going to kind of push it because he really needs to dry. So we'll be using hair dryers quite a bit, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
But
really
you can see how vibrant, how pretty these colors are. I mean, they're just.
I just love the look of it.
Do you have the moss green there?
The moss green is right here.
That is such a pretty one.
And this is olive green. Look at the colors in the olive green.
Wow.
Here's your light brown.
I only have leaf green and emerald, I think.
Here are the greens. That's lime green, leaf green,
Mm-hmm.
and there's your emerald green,
Mm-hmm.
sea green,
Well, that's pretty.
My favorite.
and then you get into your moss and your olive. There's 34 colors, and that includes the black and the white.
What would you recommend to start off with? Should I get something that's easy enough is it easy enough to blend where if I started with the primary colors, or should I get like a kit that's got
I would go on, and if you go to the Brusho Fun group, in the files, I have this, at least back when it was, they've got a few other sets now, but they have I have the basic sets there of what you get in, and I have all of the colors, color chart. I would look at that and see what colors you like, because if I would tell you I use blah, 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 those may not be the colors that you really prefer and that, are your favorites. I would look at that and kind of see what the 34 colors are. The white, I use it occasionally, and I did the white on the black, and this is Stonehenge Aqua's watercolor paper, the black, and it's a 140-pound cold press. But it's not a color I would run out and buy tomorrow if I didn't have it. It comes in one of the sets, probably the set of 24, maybe. It's either in the set of the 24 or the 12.
It's not in my 12,
So then it's probably in the set of the 24.
I don't think. Let me make sure.
But I mean, a lot of people, I don't know. I use it occasionally, but it's not, like I say, it's not a color I would run out tomorrow and have to have. I would go for one of these colors before I'd probably get the white.
Yeah, I don't have the white in here.
But here's the black, and you can see a lot of the different colors that are in the black.
Black is amazing.
It really is. Now, here's the thing, that when I'm using traditional watercolors, I do not use black. I think black is very flat. I mix my blacks.
Yeah.
Now with Brusho, I have a tendency that I'll use the black for that because I can pull the different colors out.
Yeah.
And what's really cool is if you're doing a monochromatic piece,
Uh-huh.
and say you're using the gray or the black for that,
Mm-hmm.
and you get those colors that are built into it, it's really not monochromatic because there's so many colors that are in that one little pot.
That would look cool.
So it's kind of, we've nicknamed it Brusho matic instead of monochromatic, because it's just, it's amazing. Let me see if I can dig out.
I've been wanting to do a monochromatic. Maybe I'll try it with Brusho.
I think that'd be fun with the black.
The black is just
Get all, yeah,
amazing.
get all those colors.
It does. It's got about 5 or 6 different colors in it that just explode when you get it wet.
Let me get rid of this because I don't want to get color on any of these.
So let me ask you something. Do I need a set of regular watercolors to start with, or can I do watercolor with the Brusho? Or what would you recommend? Because I haven't watercolored it all yet.
They're so different. It kind of depends on what you want, the effect you want.
I like the Brusho effect, but I don't know if I can skip the watercolor and go straight into that, or if I need to.
Oh yeah, it's totally different. It's so different that you definitely can do one or the other. You can use them together, but you can use Brusho as a watercolor. It's just, you have to remember it's more staining.
Right. Okay.
But I did a series of
I love those.
Frontline Heroes, and this is more of a pencil charcoal.
That's amazing.
These are all done with Brusho.
Gosh, Jan, you're amazing.
Amazing, yeah.
This is done with gray.
Gray Brusho?
He is monochromatic, but if you're doing traditional monochromatic with watercolor, you're only getting the values of the gray, right? Or the color you're using.
Right.
Because of Brusho, it's not a true monochromatic.
You're getting
'Cause you're-
blues in there.
Yeah, look at the oranges in there.
Yeah.
I like it. Makes it more interesting.
It does. I love it. I'm so
Yeah.
addicted to it.
Yeah, I can see why.
And then all of
Yeah.
these were painted out of feeling. It was right in the midst of the pandemic. I was hearing on Facebook from so many friends where their kids are nurses. They were in the middle of everything.
Her eyes tell it
Yeah.
all.
Yeah, exactly.
They
That's-
may not be traditional colors, but they were what I was feeling when I heard the story. It was my emotions that came out as I painted these.
Yeah, that's just amazing.
He's not. That's just another painting I did.
That's cute.
He's not a frontline hero.
I tell you, starting painting right when the pandemic started, it was like therapy for me. It got me through it.
Oh,
I'm sure it did many people,
yeah.
It really was for me too.
Me too.
I
Very
have a
therapeutic.
friend that donated these tablets to the hospital in the town she lives in. And this was a social worker that held the tablet up, and they were using the tablets to let people who were passing that couldn't see their family.
Oh God.
So what I tried to do was put faces that are like embedded in the tablet.
Oh my goodness.
And
That
you can
is amazing.
you can just see the pain in her eyes. You know, it's
Yeah.
just
Yeah,
Those are amazing.
they are just totally amazing. It blows me away.
well, and this one it was like girl power when I painted this one. It was I
Oh.
wanted to show the power, the passion that they were feeling at the time of, you know, being immersed, not seeing family, not being able to leave the hospitals, you know.
Yeah,
That's great.
those are wonderful.
And then this guy, you can see that he was so tired, how tired he was.
Yeah,
And just power, you know, he's raising his fists in power.
Did you make copies or prints of those for them?
They will end up getting these. I never knew exactly what I was going to do with them. Eventually, everybody will get these sent to them. They're their photos, their kids, their employees.
So cool.
I always wanted to do a show. I don't know if I ever will or not, but
You should do a show with those.
Yeah.
well, that's with
Definitely.
I don't know.
Yeah.
This is from a friend that her workers were, when they were first starting to do the swab where they go with the, you know, the Q-tip up the nose.
Yeah.
And they were out in the heat and doing these as cars would drive up. And then it's just the heat. They were just, I don't know.
It's hard to imagine what they all went through all that. I
I
mean,
know.
It really is. And this was, where is he?
How many did you do?
Quite a few.
therapy.
This guy also was part of this crew. And he was just dead tired the day that my friend took the picture of her.
Yeah, he's got dark circles under his eyes and he
Yeah.
just looks so tired.
Are they the best paintings? Probably not, but
Oh, I think
Oh,
so.
no, they're really good.
You're awesome.
this guy is one of our home delivery guys that takes meals out to our seniors in our community. And this was, you know, he was doing that during the pandemic. And then I painted him in color.
I'm
Oh,
not good at portraits.
And that's not a good one. That one I should throw away, but
No,
never
don't throw it
throw
away.
away. No, no, no. Wow.
Thanks for sharing those with us.
Incredible. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, you need to have a show. That's definitely.
yeah.
That's
And
just-
this is one of our local
Aw.
EMS firefighters that, you know, what we're going into with the pandemic and people passing away. And
Mm-hmm.
Did he really have a Dalmatian? Or did you just put him in there?
did the dog? No, that was his friend's dog. Yeah.
Oh, it
yeah,
was?
he
Okay.
there. Yeah, he had to be included in the painting.
Yeah. Well, I always think of Dalmatians with the the little fire hydrant. So
And he is. He's part of their team.
that's cute.
But anyway, yeah, I appreciate you hanging around to watch that and,
Yeah.
to see.
my
But what I really wanted to show was, with Brusho, you can do monochromatic. And in the class that I have on the Academy, Creating Magic with Brusho, we do a turtle that's monochromatic. And I don't remember off the top of my head what color, but it's kind of a orangey brown color. And it's amazing how it turned out. So really take a look at that class and take a look at the free demos that are up there also. So
I'm checking it all out tomorrow.
all right. Well, listen, we have been online since what, 7:30?
It's only 6 o'clock here.
6:30,
Oh no, it's 9 here.
Oh goodness, no wonder you're tired probably.
Actually, I'm getting hungry. I haven't had dinner yet.
You better go eat.
Better go eat.
Thank you
Well,
for the wonderful video.
Well, thank
Yeah.
you so much. And I'll try to be back on again next week. Thinking maybe we'll work on that tree that I showed you, but I may change. I never know from one day to the next what I'm gonna work on.
Well,
I'm gonna
I-
catch you from the beginning next time.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
are you on my email list?
That's how I found this one, was the email. So
Okay, great. Yep. So,
Yeah.
I will send out a reminder every week for that I'm going to be on and doing these. Hopefully, I'm going to go on a vacation for a while, but, so I won't be doing them then, but I'm
you're
going to
allowed
try
to
and
go
do
on
as many-
vacation as long as you come back.
Well, I plan on it. But yeah, I really do think that if there is some interest that, we'll do a workshop, do it through, I would say through Zoom probably would be the best, because then we can kind of everybody share and follow along and do several sessions and, do a painting.
I would love
But,
that.
yeah, I kind of think that's, I'll put one of those together for everybody.
Like a
But,
paint along kind of a thing, or
yeah, paint along. Yeah.
I need all
I'm
the
sorry,
help
I
I
keep
can get.
looking at the screen because I can see your faces and I'm not looking at you.
oh. Yeah, I
bad
was
on my part.
nervous with the paint alongs because I'm like so slow. I try and make things perfect, and then I get behind and then I start getting nervous about trying to catch up.
Well, that's why I'm thinking if we do it on Zoom, we can all watch and share. So I'm thinking that would probably be better than, it would be hard to follow along with me doing it this way. Because you really, I move so fast doing it. If we did an actual workshop, it would be as if I was right in the room with you, painting along, show you how to do something, and then, you guys do it and show and share. So I think that would be a really good way to go. But again, I'm going to have to charge something little for that, because that does, I gotta pay for the Academy somehow.
Yeah.
I'd be willing to pay.
I got to get my Brusho stuff first. I got to figure out. I've got so many courses I bought and haven't even done yet over a year.
I
What kind
know.
of medium do you do, Marlene?
I've been doing alcohol inks, but I'm so interested in this Brusho too that I'm excited. I want to start learning and doing it.
I've never done alcohol ink. I don't know. I don't have a clue on that.
Yeah, I didn't either when I started, but it's fun.
Yeah.
Well, and here's the other thing, and Marlene is, not only do we have the Fine Art Cafe Academy, now this gets confusing, I know, but I also have, along with a friend, it's called the fineartcafe.com. And that is where we have some fabulous artists who have art boutiques up where they sell their art. So that's kind of like a sister of the Fine Art Cafe Academy.
great.
So people can
Yeah.
put their art up to sell it on the cafe, and they can learn art on the academy.
Oh, okay.
That
It's
makes
really
sense.
Fabulous. Yeah.
And Marlene has a shop on the cafe.
Oh, I'll have to go look.
Yeah. If you go to the
I need to
academy, there's a link that you can go over and look at the different artists that are up there on the
Yeah.
cafe.
Okay. I will check that out too.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's fun. They do a lot of good, promotions and marketing for us. And we just did a spring fling thing, like a pop-up sale on
did.
Zoom, and that was really fun.
Yeah, that's
I've
fun.
sold a few of my paintings to my friends. That's about it so far.
Good for you.
That's how I got started. Yeah.
I think I sold like 20 last year. I was really amazed.
That's great. What are you, watercolor
Well,
or
I do watercolor and acrylic.
and acrylics? Okay.
Mhm. It's what I'm doing right now. So,
Yeah, yeah. I just
And-
picked up, oh gosh, it was when I was in my teens, I used to paint. And then after I got married and had kids, I just hadn't painted until probably about 4 or 5 years ago. I picked up, no, it must have been about 4 years ago when I started with the alcohol inks. And I'm just having so much fun now, and I just can't wait to retire. So all I can do is paint, paint, paint.
yeah. So you actually paint with the inks.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's
Okay.
really, it's kind of like alcohol. It's called isopropyl alcohol, the medicine kind.
Uh-huh.
That to the inks is like water is to watercolor paint.
Oh, okay.
So you can dilute it with the isopropyl alcohol and paint with it like that.
Oh, okay. I've
Yeah.
seen them in Michael's and stuff, but I was like, what do you do with those?
You should check out some of the YouTubes and stuff, and it'll show you how it works. And it's
I
really
will. I'll check it out, and I'll check
Yeah.
out your art.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Well,
I'm
yep.
gonna go eat some dinner too. So
Okay. Well, thank
Okay.
you so much, everybody, for being
Thank
on
you,
with
Jan,
me.
and
I'll
thanks,
put this
Jan.
up. Yep, thank you. I'll put it up on the
Nice to meet
Academy. I'll also put it up on YouTube. But again, thank you so much for being on with me. Sign up for the newsletter if you're not getting the newsletter. And then also, like YouTube, follow YouTube, and check out the Fine Art Cafe Academy.
Okay, we'll do it.
Real.
All right. Thanks,
Thank you.
everybody. Have a good evening.
Good
You too.
night.
Bye-bye.
Night.